We have breaking sports news.
This is breaking news.
The New York Giants just signed Russell Wilson to a 1-year deal.
Wow.
Do you remember him? Seahawks great.
I think I don't. Former Super Bowl winner.
Well, this is interesting because Aaron Rodgers hasn't signed anywhere yet.
Yeah, we were talking about this before the show.
You and I. We were chewing the fat about sports.
Well, I'm fascinated about what the Vikings situation surrounding Aaron Rodgers is.
Okay, well, a couple things. One, if Russell Wilson is signing with New York, and by the way, New York also signed Jameis Winston earlier this month, so they have, obviously they're not going to get Aaron Rodgers. So somebody knows something about where Aaron Rodgers is going, and I would imagine this means that Aaron Rodgers is headed to Pittsburgh, but we have not seen that deal yet.
No.
And if they don't get him, I don't know what the hell the Steelers are going to do, because aren't they all – Fields is gone, Wilson's gone. So I don't know what the Steelers do if they don't get Rodgers. I would imagine they get Rodgers.
Yeah.
But you were mentioning the Vikings.
This kind of stumbles them into Rodgers, yeah.
So there was an article yesterday that was saying that J.J. McCarthy has not been told that he is the starter in Minnesota. And in that report, they mentioned that the Vikings may still yet come back to Aaron Rodgers. So I don't know if I buy that, but if maybe the Vikings are slow playing this because they're like, dude, we don't need you. And if you don't sign with Pittsburgh and New York, you have nowhere else to go. You want to win a Super Bowl. We can provide that to you. We're just going to wait it out and get you for super cheap. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's a negotiation. I don't know. But I can't see. I don't know. I think it makes sense for the Vikings to get Aaron Rodgers, but they may not want to put up with Aaron Rodgers. And it sounds like the report, at least last week, was that they kicked the tires and said no thanks. Maybe that door is still open. If that's still open, the Steelers might get screwed in on this. Russell Wilson may have just gotten tired of sitting around and waiting. He's like, screw this. I'm out of here. I'm going to New York. I can sell some jeans in New York.
Doesn't have to wait for Aaron Rodgers to set the market for him. No, absolutely not.
Well, but I think he was going to go back to Pittsburgh if Rodgers didn't go to Pittsburgh.
Looking at this deal, though, I'm thinking that New York probably offered him more money than Pittsburgh did with some incentives. $21 million. It's a $21 million deal, 1-year deal, and it's $10.5 million guaranteed, which was obviously vastly different than his contract last year. But that is a reminder that he was on the league minimum because he was still getting paid from the Broncos' fully guaranteed contract to him.
So the Steelers got the best deal of ever world, of other planets, because that
never happens.
No, and he was pretty good.
When's the last time a two-time, Super Bowl winning quarterback comes in on the league minimum?
And look, he's not what he used to be, but he was pretty good for them.
Yeah.
He gave him a little bit of a deep ball dimension with the the little lob ball that he throws. So, and I'm not saying he's great, but at league minimum, I'll take that. But $10.5 million for the Giants, that's a deal. If I'm the Giants, that's a deal I would do.
Yeah.
I get that.
Well, you need some stability at that position.
You got to do something. And he's a veteran. He thinks he's a leader. So he'll either piss everyone off there or be a leader. He's a good dude. So, it's like, I don't know. I think I don't know how much they got Winston for, but the Giants getting Winston.
That was 2 years, $8 million, I believe.
2 and 8. Okay, so they're paying $14.5 million.
Basically.
For those two guys. I think that's worth it. That makes sense.
And you got, I would call Jameis at times competent, but you've got two quarterbacks that at any point during the season will go under center and embarrass you less than Daniel Jones did in the last few seasons. And that's
debatable with
you think?
Jameis. Yeah, dude, Jameis can turn it over more than Daniel Jones, and that's saying something.
I genuinely would rather watch Jameis Winston, though, because there are games where he can throw 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, no, I'd rather have Jameis than Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
But make no mistake, Jameis can embarrass you just as... he can embarrass you probably more than anyone in the league. That guy's 5 picks. Like, he could throw 5 picks tomorrow.
And maybe it was the Giants' offense, just the way that they ran it and, not letting Daniel Jones throw the ball, or before Malik Neighbors last year, not really having anyone to throw the ball to. So, and it's not like they're smart. They're the ones that gave up on Saquon Barkley too early.
Yeah. So, listen, fine, whatever. They're the Giants. What did Fields get with the Jets? Can you look that up?
Yes, I believe that was like 2 and 40, so 20 a year, something like that.
Yeah, think about what the Giants did better than the Jets. You get Wilson and Winston for $14 million.
2-year, $40 million, 30 guaranteed for Justin Fields from the Jets.
God,
this is The basis. So what? The second
million?
Yeah, the second tier quarterback market is around $20 million.
Yeah, so I think the Giants did fine here. Look, it's not like they're winning the Super Bowl anyway, but that's good for them. Now the question is what the hell is going on with Rodgers and what the hell's going on with the Steelers?
I mean, I guess if you don't think that Aaron Rodgers will end up in Pittsburgh, you were asking what the hell do they do if he doesn't. Essentially, you go to like Kirk Cousins, right? Like you call Atlanta and you're saying, hey, we might have to give up a couple of future draft picks because we're in it here. And I would say that Atlanta, I know they still have future money they can get out of with Kirk, but they still have to give him money if he's on their roster this year past that $10 million signing bonus that he just got. So I think this could be a deal that works for both sides. Atlanta would love to clear up some of that salary.
Yeah, but he's hobbled and not what he wants.
Where do the Steelers go?
If I'm Pittsburgh, I think I bet you that we hear of them signing Aaron Rodgers soon.
I would agree with you.
And that's probably why Russell Wilson ended up in New York.
It's just because it's Aaron Rodgers.
Bottom line, their ass.
Yeah, we heard about that secret meeting in the Pittsburgh Steelers organizational headquarters. And
secret? Was it secret?
Well, because it wasn't known to even Aaron Rodgers' closest associates. Ian Rappaport was saying on Pat McAfee's show yesterday that just not many people actually knew what was happening, and this was a very, very close to the vest kind of thing. And when Rodgers isn't telling people around him what's going on, which is something apparently he usually does, that's saying something. So I would think it's happening, but it's probably a very tough negotiation. You know, money-wise, he's trying to get those last couple of million from the Rooneys. I don't know.
Maybe the Giants are doing what Buckley has always suggested, and that is the quarterback or the quarterback bullpen game.
Yeah,
where you just rotate in quarterbacks until one has a couple good innings.
Yeah, I hate that. When you got two quarterbacks or three, you got none. But
DeVito, Russell Wilson, Winston, and whichever one's playing better, you leave them out there.
Give me some Tommy Cutlets. Yeah. I'd love to see the Giants season go so bad that fans are calling for Tommy Cutlets by like game 10.
I think he's still there, isn't he?
I believe so. He's still their third stringer.
Keep 4 quarterbacks, and you just you never know which quarter they're going to play. Throw the opponent off.
Tommy DeVito, he's our third quarter guy. Russell's our fourth quarter guy. That'd be weird.
All right. Well, anyway, that's the latest. Russ is going to New York to play for the Giants.
Do you think that the Minnesota Vikings maybe not telling J.J. McCarthy yet that he's the franchise quarterback to be means that they're still interested in Aaron Rodgers? I mean, that report said that like they told Aaron Rodgers face-to-face a week or two ago, we don't want you. But apparently still come this summer, he's available.
Here's what I think.
To them, I don't get that.
Let me tell you what I think, Schultz.
All right.
You old son of a bitch. Let me tell you something. Vikings, if I put it this way, if you watched Aaron Rodgers in that dumb show that he did, all about himself, I forget what it was called.
Doesn't matter.
He mentions many times Peyton Manning winning a Super Bowl in Denver. He wants to win another Super Bowl. And the best place for him to do that is Minnesota. So if I'm going to put 2 and 2 together here, the fact that Aaron Rodgers has not signed with the Steelers, to me, means that Minnesota may still be in play. So that's what I'd like to tell you, Schultz.
Okay,
you old son of a bitch.
And I think you're right about that. I think that's the question I was asking you, and so the answer to that is
there's the
yes.
answer. And we need to change this drop.
Hey, Seattle.
To Hey New York.
Ooh, Mr.
Seattle.
Mr. Unlimited.
Mr. Unlimited's going to New York.
Could you imagine? Mr. Unlimited Jeans.
He's going to love it there.
Oh, yes, he will.
And so is his wife. He'll fit right in there.
Yeah, but if he doesn't play well, he's going to hate it really quick. Well, I'm not saying that he's going to, but New York spits the athletes out that don't do so well.
But, I mean, he's following. Who is he even following? Who was their quarterback last year?
I mean, it was Daniel until about week 10 or 11 when they released him, and then it was Drew Lock, and then I think Tommy Cutlets by the end again.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not like he's following a legend, I
mean, they haven't had it going on since what? Their Super Bowl appearance, win, with Eli last?
Well, it wasn't that long ago. Don't act like it's been like the Browns.
No, you're right, but I guess then just because it's New York fans, they think that they should be successful immediately again. Like, you guys got Eli. Like, you were lucky.
Someone asked, why is Minnesota the number one landing spot for a Super Bowl when they've never won a Super Bowl and haven't been since like the 70s? Because they're the best team.
Yeah,
there's only two options here.
Come on, their defense is amazing. They were the best blitzing team in all the NFL last year.
What's the matter with you people out
most,
come on!
Are you kidding me? Aaron Jones, Justin Jefferson? Stop. They were 14-2, and they have one of the best head coaches in the league.
Yeah.
Just because they haven't been to a Super Bowl yet doesn't mean they shouldn't be in one.
Yeah.
Come on.
Doesn't mean they can't.
There's my Suke for today.
Idiot.